At some point, everyone stops something. You stop playing. You stop studying. You stop training. Life moves, and the board goes quiet. Weeks pass. Months pass. Sometimes years. And then one day you think about returning. But something feels different. The pieces are familiar, yet distant. The patterns slower to appear. The confidence you once had feels like it belongs to someone else. This is the strange difficulty of coming back. Not starting for the first time, but starting again after you already know what it feels like to be better. In chess, this moment happens to almost every player, and it reveals something important. The hardest move is not the first move you ever play. It's the first move after a long silence. Welcome to Chess and Beyond. Today, we explore how to return to chess and to anything in life after a long pause. Returning to chess after a long break feels different from starting for the first time. When you are new, mistakes are expected. Every small improvement feels natural. There is no past version of yourself to compare against. But when you return, you remember how well you once played. You remember positions that used to feel clear. You remember a level that now feels distant. And this is where frustration begins. You are not starting from zero, yet you are not where you used to be. Many players stop again at this point. Not because they no longer love the game, but because returning feels uncomfortable. What chess quietly teaches is that restarting is not about recovering the past. It is about learning how to move forward from the position you have now. And this lesson reaches far beyond the board. When you return to chess after a long pause, the first games can feel brutal. Simple tactics are missed. Calculation feels slower. Positions that once felt intuitive now require effort. It is easy to conclude, I lost my level. I am not as good as I used to be. But most of what we call rust is not purely technical. It is psychological. The pressure to perform at your old standard creates tension. You compare every move to the version of yourself you remember. Instead of simply playing, you begin judging. This happens outside chess too. When someone returns to the gym after months away, they don't struggle because they forgot how to move. They struggle because they expect to lift what they once could. When someone restarts a project, they don't fail because they lack skill. They hesitate because they measure themselves against their past peak. Chess exposes this clearly. The first step in a comeback is not regaining strength. It is removing expectation. You are not the player you were, but you are also not starting from nothing. And that space, between memory and reality, is where real rebuilding begins. In chess, there is a simple principle. You do not play the position you wish you had. You play the position that is on the board. It does not matter how strong you were last year. It does not matter what your rating once said. It does not matter how easily you used to calculate. The only thing that matters is the current position. Comebacks fail when we try to recover the past instead of accepting the present. If you sit down after a long break and expect brilliance, you will force moves. You will overcomplicate. You will try to prove that you are still strong. But chess punishes that mindset. The board demands honesty. If your calculation is slower, then simplify. If your intuition feels rusty, choose solid positions. If your confidence is low, build it move by move. The same principle applies beyond chess. When restarting anything, study, work, training, creative projects, the mistake is trying to jump back to your former level in one leap. You cannot move like a queen if the position only allows a pawn step. Progress begins with accepting reality, and then making the best move from there. One of the biggest mistakes in a comeback is trying to recover everything at once. After a long break, motivation often comes in a surge. You want to train hard, play long sessions, solve dozens of puzzles, study openings for hours. But intensity is not the same as consistency. In chess, strength returns through repetition. Short, regular sessions. A few serious games. Simple endgames. Clean calculation. Not heroic effort. Stable rhythm. Momentum rebuilds confidence. A single solid game feels better than 5 chaotic ones. A week of steady practice is stronger than one exhausting day. The same applies in life. When restarting anything, The goal is not to impress yourself. It is to re-establish continuity. Small sessions create habit. Habit creates stability. Stability rebuilds strength. In chess, a winning position is often built quietly. No dramatic sacrifice, no brilliant explosion. Just improving one piece at a time. A comeback works the same way. Coming back is uncomfortable because it forces humility. You must accept that you are no longer at your peak. You must tolerate mistakes you once avoided. You must rebuild without certainty. But chess teaches something powerful here. Every game starts from a neutral position. It does not remember your last blunder. It does not care about your past rating. It only asks, what is your next move? A comeback is not about restoring the old version of yourself. It is about engaging again with the present position. The board is always ready. The pieces are always there. The clock starts the same way. And the first move back, no matter how small, is already a victory. If you enjoy exploring how chess reflects the deeper patterns of life, subscribe to Chess and Beyond, because sometimes the most important move is simply deciding to sit down at the board again.